One role you may be assigned on election day is the greeter judge. We recommend each precinct have a greeter judge, especially if it is a larger voter precinct, and also if we're expecting a high turnout for that election. The greeter's role is to direct voters to the correct table in the polling place and ensure that the voters are at the right polling location based on their address. If you are assigned to be a greeter judge, please locate the folder in the blue box. Inside this folder, you'll find instructions to perform this task, a sign indicating the voter must be 18 years to vote. Please post this near the door. The last line in voter card, which is pink, the precinct finder, an incident log, and curbside voting forms. The greeter list is located in the envelope with the rosters. Take one copy and leave the other copies for the Election Day registration table. A registered voter is someone whose name appears on the greeter list. Their residential address is where they currently reside. Verify with the voter that the name and the address on the greeter list is correct. Once verified, direct the voter to the roster judges. If the voter's name is not on the greeter list, if their name has changed, or if their residential address is different from what is printed on the greeter list, they will need to use the Election Day registration process to vote today. First, use your precinct finder, located in the greeter judge folder, to verify their residential address. When checking the precinct finder, you need to verify the street address and the house range is in your precinct. O, E, and B on the precinct finder stand for odd, even, and both. It refers to the numbers within the house range. Once you have verified their current addresses in your precinct, direct them to the Election Day registration table. If the voter's address is not in your precinct finder, they should be voting at a different location in Washington County. You'll want to direct them to the head judge. You and the head judge can use the city precinct finder and the polling location list located in the head judge folder to determine where their correct polling location is. If you're unable to determine the correct location, please contact Washington County Elections and we will help you out. Per Minnesota statute, there can be no solicitation of voters or distribution of campaign material within 100 feet of the building in which the polling place is located. This just includes public property. There is also no lingering near the polling location allowed. Challengers must present a letter of appointment, and if a challenger enters the polling location, you should direct them to the head judge. Representatives of the media are allowed to be in the polling place for an unlimited amount of time during voting hours for observation purposes. Media representatives must provide the following: photo identification, a recognized media credential, as well as written verification from a local elections official that their credentials are accurate. Representatives of the media cannot be within 6 feet of voters. They can't converse with voters inside the polling location. They're not allowed to make a list of persons voting or interfere with the voting process in any way. They also cannot take a voter's picture without their permission. If you have any issues, please direct the media to the head judge. Per Minnesota law, all voters that are in line at 8 p.m. must be allowed to vote. This may mean that your polling location will be open later than 8 p.m. It is your role as the greeter judge to locate the last voter in line at 8 p.m. Hand them the last voter in line pink card located inside the greeter judge folder. Have them sign the card, or you may stand at the end of the line to ensure that no other voters attempt to vote after 8 p.m. After the last voter has gone through your polling location, please follow the instructions on the greeter and curbside judge folder to begin close down of the polling location. This folder will tell you where to place all of your items to close the polls. Greeter lists contain data private information, which is why it's very important that those lists are returned to Washington County election night. Please place all greeter lists and precinct finders into the close of polls plastic bag. If you had curbside voters, please return complete Election Day registration forms as well as any used EDR roster pages inside that plastic bag as well. Before leaving the polling location, check out with the head judge to be sure that there aren't any other tasks you can help with to close down the polling place. If you have any questions throughout the day that your head judge cannot answer, please call Washington County Elections.